I'm doing some alpha and omega stuff right now. I'm being everything and everybody all through my voice, and I don't really know what that means, but that's what it feels like, and that's kind of the sense I'm getting. I'm repairing my body through my voice and my ears. There's a ringing going on in my ears, and then my throat is like it's moving. I can feel the chords and the sounds are like coalescing. They're coming together, and there's certain parts that are not there, and I have to fill them in with the sound and the vibration between both my throat and my ear, and it reflects the different things going on in my body. So the injuries and stuff, where the fat is, all that stuff, it's all in my voice. Where the muscles are and aren't, and like the blood flow and stuff, where I'm not getting any blood. It's all here and here. It's here. I don't know what that is. Okay. basically, as I'm moving up my throat, at a certain point, something starts to ring, and I can feel it like almost like a, it's like a push or something, but it's like it's a ball or something. You can feel it in your ear, and it's like buzzing, and that's what I'm like judging where I need to go from, because it's like I can grab this sort of buzz and put it over here, and it repairs that part of my throat, so I can now move in a flow instead of like a chorded, up and down. It's like I'm going all the way up and all the way down, and so it's repairing my voice or my throat over here. Give it and take and give, and that's what that means. I didn't know when I posted that. I was just kind of hearing it a lot, and now it makes sense. Yes, from bit, yeah. And so bit is the Holy Spirit. Is another way of thinking about him. So bit's kind of like whatever you need it to be. It kind of reflects your needs, you, and where you're at in your consciousness or stages of whatever growth. But there's different ways to think about bit, and the Holy Spirit is kind of like, it's hard to understand for a lot of people, or we have a lot of preconceived notions about what that means. We really don't have an idea of what that means in religion. I was Catholic forever, and we didn't really have an understanding of that. They would just be like, there's three things, and it's one of them is the Holy Spirit. And it's a spirit. It's a holy and a spirit, What does that mean? You can even guess it's like God or something, but what does that mean? And so I kind of have an idea now, and a way to describe that to people. It's you and spirit and it and bit. It's a spirit that is you, but you are also it, right? And it's the thing inside of you that is like conscious of the stuff going on around you. It's that like awareness of everything that is your experience, and that is everywhere. The universe is like that in everything. So the air here is also aware of me as I am of it, because I am also that air. It's all nothing, technically, right? It's all imagination at the end of it. And the physics reflects that. It's the science too. It's the imagination of magic, and imagination of magic. Imagine magic. Okay. Magi. It's probably also a thing. The magi, and so yeah, lots of like connections like that. But at the beginning of everything, it was just nothing. It was like a ball of nothing. But that nothing is still something, right? It's nothing, but you still have a thing. It's nothing, but it's a thing. It's like the idea of there being nothing is still an idea, and that's what is the thing at the beginning. It's like an idea, or it's a black hole. In science we call it a black hole. It's this ball of absolutely nothing, and it's frozen at absolute zero, and it's destroying everything inside of it, because all it's doing is like pulling inward, right? It's inward. Like your spirit or your consciousness, it's that inward pull, right? And that's all everything is. When you take away all the layers, all the colors, all the feelings and the sounds, and the space, even the empty air around you, when you peel away that thing that we have labeled things as, it turns back into that thing that is just going inward in itself. And you are also a reflection of that thing moving inward. So That's consciousness and the universe kind of put together in a few words. And I hope that helps some people understand what this is. Because when I say that the stuff is going on, or when I'm talking about the things that are happening in my experience, it's real. It's actually real. But it's not real also. It's not real because none of it is technically real. Nothing around us is technically real. But it's also the only thing we have. So you can call it real, or you can call it imaginary, or you can call one part real and one part imaginary, and they're still both real, or they're still both imaginary, you know? So it's just whatever you want to call it, but it still is. But these labels that we have as like real, imaginary, red, or blue are nothing. It's all nothing at the end of the day, but it's still something. And that's about as far as you can go, at least until you get into that sort of like thinking of things, right? So you have to expand your thinking as to what is something and what is nothing. What is a thing? Okay, my favorite is calling things stuff and stuff things. Okay, so we have in okay, cool. So we have in physics, it's called a black hole and a white hole. In information science or computers, we have a 0 and a 1, right? In colors, we have a red and a blue. In phones, we have pictures and a video. You know, it's like there's always a thing and a stuff, okay? And that's all everything is. It's a stuff or a thing, or a thing and a stuff, right? But at the end of the day, there was no stuff. It's just a thing. Okay, so it's a thing, but you could also call it a stuff. Okay, so now you have a stuff and a thing. You can make a stuff and a thing now, right? Do you see how this works? Okay, now look. So we have two now. We have a red and a blue, or a stuff and a thing, or 1 and a 0, whatever you want to call it. A white hole and a black hole. What can we do with these? We can combine them now. We can make a stuff, or a thing, or a stuff and a thing, a stuff thing, or a thing and a stuff, a thing stuff. Okay, so from that one thing, it's not really a thing, it's no thing, right? It's not a thing, but it's a thing because it's a not thing, right? So you have a thing and you can make stuff. All that stuff I just made from that no thing, not a thing, nothing. It's all stuff now, right? It's ideas. You see how that works? Like, a nothing is a no. It's a no thing. It's not a thing. It's a nothing. But that's 3 ideas in one thing that's nothing. Right? Isn't that kind of mind-blowing to think about? And now you have 4 different things. And there's infinitely many more things you can get from that nothing. Just like that. They're all ideas that just kind of pop into existence. And that's what magic is. It's these ideas that pop into existence just by using your imagination sauce that's running through your mind, right? That's pulling everything inward, okay? And this is the fascinating thing about everything. It's all nothing, man, and it's wild to think about. It might be a little scary if you're like, if it probably was at some point. I like it now. I think it's really cool. So it's not even scary cool to me anymore. It's just cool. I like thinking about things like this. And the thing is, you never really run out of things to think about. You have like all this stuff and you're just like, where did this stuff come from? And you can trace it all the way back, and then you can find different ways, different paths, and how other things came from this other stuff. And it's all a stuff or a thing at the end of the day. But you like trace it back to that nothingness. And that's kind of what I do in my free time, or just my free thoughts, right? I'm just like, where is this stuff and thing from, you know? Where did we get stuff and things? Oh, look, it's a red thing or a blue thing. Let's see, you know? And then that's just like light bouncing off in your eyes, right? But it's not even light. It's just a nothing still, you know? And so your eyes, what's inside your eyes? Things and stuff. It's like rods and cones. You got a left and a right eye. You got a left and right nostril. It's a thing and a stuff. Right, to smell stuff things, right? That's all you're really doing, just